So good morning all of you. Today we'll be doing the question answers of chapter 3 of your snapshots Ranga's marriage. I'll be dictating you the question answers. Please note them down in your copies. The first question they have asked is comment on the influence of English in the language and the way of life on Indian life as reflected in the story. What is the narrator's attitude towards English? So the answer is the story Ranga's marriage describes that there were few people in India who knew English. The village accountant was the first who had enough courage to send his son to Bangalore to study. In those days, there were rare people who spoke English in the villages. They talked only in Kannada. Here is an example to support this. Ramarao's son brought a bundle of firewood. The woman asked for a 4-piece paise, the price of firewood. The boy told her that he did not have the change and she asked to come the next day. The poor woman could not understand the English word change. She went away muttering to herself. At that time, English was considered to be a priceless commodity. Therefore, Ranga's homecoming in the village was a great event. Many people wanted to see him after coming back from Bangalore. They tried to know whether he had not just lost his caste and culture. Ranga was wearing a sacred thread, the Janevara. This proved that he was pious. The narrator considers English to be a priceless commodity, but he tried to show that English does not have any adverse influence on the religious and cultural practices of the people. Ranga's sacred thread and namaskara to his elders shows that he was a true Indian. The second question is, astrologers' perceptions are based on hearsay and conjecture. Then what they learn from the study and stars, comment with reference to your story. तो हमारा क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है कि अगर जो एस्ट्रोलॉजर्स हैं, जो भी ज्योतिष है, वो अफवाहों से और अटकलें लगा के जब अपना निर्णय देते हैं तो फिर वो क्यों पढ़ाई करते हैं, इसके ऊपर हमें अपना कमेंट करना है. द आंसर सेज इंडियन पीपल आर सिक ऑफ मेनी सुपरस्टिशंस. A superstition is the perception of astrologers towards astrology. It is not a matter of discussion whether astrology is a science or not. The astrologers are not dependent on the study of stars. They do not care much for the movement of the planets and their effect on man's life. They are the Shastri of the story. All the predictions are based on the hearsay and conjecture. They are not based on scientific study of astrology. The narrator had already told Shastri what he had to say on Ranga. Shastri said that a girl was the cause of Ranga's unhappiness. The narrator asked Shastri if there was any chance of his marriage. The astrologer replied that it would be possible. Sometimes astrologers are tutored by the client. They falsely move their lips and count on their fingers to make a belief. Shastri did what he was told to do. He impressed Ranga. The poor fellow could not understand their mischievousness. है ना. तो जो ये इनका कहना है कि जो एस्ट्रोलॉजर्स है वो बहुत कम बार जो है एक्चुअल में स्टार्स एंड प्लैनेट्स की मूवमेंट को यूज़ करते हैं, नोटिस करते हैं. वो ज़्यादातर जो उन्होंने किसी के बारे में जो सुन रखा होता है या ऑब्वियसली जब हम जाते हैं हम अपने आप को किसी प्रॉब्लम बताते हैं तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग अपना सारा जो जवाब हमें दे देते हैं. Question number 3 is, Indian society has moved a long way from the way the marriage is arranged in the story. The answer is, in India, the way of marriage is traditional. It has been a custom that the parents of both the bride and the bridegroom settle their marriage, but in view of Ranga, 21st century is not the age of arranged marriage. The narrator asked Ranga about the plan of his marriage. Ranga told him that he needed to find the right girl. He knew an officer who got married when he was about 30 and his wife was 25. They could talk to each other. He gave an example of the play Shakuntala. Dushyant and Shakuntala were young enough to understand each other. It should be a girl who is mature. The narrator thought that Ranga might be proved a good husband for Rama Rao's niece, Ratna. In the story, Ratna is 11 years old. She is very pretty. The narrator asks Ratna to sing a song and Ranga is sent for. He is much impressed by the song. The narrator makes a plan for their arranged marriage. A child marriage could be thought in Hoshahali village, but Ranga was not ready for it. But the narrator made a plan through the astrologer to get him ready for marriage. At last, it became an arranged marriage. Last question and question 4th is, what kind of a person do you think the narrator is? The answer says, the narrator appears to be a gentleman. His nature is helping and he takes pains to make people happy around. He is a villager. He is proud of his village, Hoshahali. He says that Hoshahali is to Mysore state what the filling is to sweet of Kharigadabu. He behaves politely, his decision is always right. The narrator is very intelligent, he is realistic, he calls English language a priceless commodity. The narrator impresses us with his presence of mind. The narrator is a great manipulator. He knows that Ranga is fit for Ratna. Therefore, he tutors Shastri and makes ready Ranga for marriage. So, all of you please do these question answers in your copies and have a nice day. अगले चैप्टर के नेक्स्ट करेंगे. हो गया टाइम.